medical malpractice is something that happens on such a massive scale.
Patient advocacy is maybe at the lowest point that we've ever seen it. Really want to collectively try to impact that.
Either the doctor did something that the doctor should not have done under the circumstances, or a doctor left something out that must be done under the circumstances. The only people who have the answer to that question are doctors who know that area of medicine.
When we talk about standard of care, we're talking about the action or inaction of a physician that actually ends up causing harm in a way that it shouldn't have happened. As a clinician and as a lawyer, I can really get to the heart of that matter very quickly.
There's no shortage of doctors who come to the defense of doctors who've done some horrendous forms of medical negligence. But the first thing that they want to do is try to use big words and jargon, and you ask them questions that let them know, hey, I'm right there with you, and it scares them.
The advantage that you have being a physician and taking a deposition is incredible. It's almost unfair.
And then the next day I might have a neurosurgical case, or the next day I might have an orthopedic case. But all of those I've dealt with my entire career in medicine.
And there's where the magic is, to have a community of professionals who are trained in both disciplines.
At LawMD, pretty much the first person who ever sees your case is going to know what they should have done.
My specialty is to understand more than anything else what evidence means in the medical context and what evidence means in the legal context, and marrying those two concepts.
LawMD does that initial assessment to try to figure out what's the case really about internally. When we get that evaluation, we get there quicker and for less money.
I can tell a client that they don't have a case with one telephone call. And I think that that's something that many lawyers who don't have medical backgrounds really can't do.
I've looked at cases where numerous experts have said that there was no negligence. And then I was able to look at it and within a few minutes know that there was.
The lawyers and the doctors are honorable people. And if they have a case, they're going to make a case. And if they don't, they'll tell you. And that's very important.
Because we know what the courts expect in terms of the evidence that is going to be most powerful and most persuasive.
Sometimes they will say things that I know are simply not medically accurate, or I'm aware that there's medical literature which totally contradicts what they just said. That gives me a huge advantage proving to a jury that my witnesses are the credible ones and the ones that they should believe.
I saw the value in bringing medicine in-house because of the difficult work of medical malpractice. That's easy to see. But what's unseen is the compassion that's there.
As physicians, we understand that emotional component. We understand that these patients have come to be healed, to be made better, and somehow they've been damaged.
As physicians take a Hippocratic oath that more or less just doubly enforces this fiduciary relationship that we have to these people.
I see a medical record in a very different way than an attorney who doesn't have a medical background, who are not experts at reviewing files.
It's either the documentation is inadequate or maybe over-documented, but I can spot those things.
And let me tell you something, I don't care how doggone smart you are, if you can't see it, you can't act on it.
Often, what isn't written is the key to a malpractice case.
The real error that put the doctor in a situation to make that other error happen an hour earlier, that's the one you didn't see, and that's the one LawMD sees.
It is most assuredly and most importantly about accessibility.
Having this broad depth of specialists, neurosurgery, OB, emergency medicine, you name it, we can absolutely find that needle in the haystack.
I save my clients tens of thousands of dollars per case because I'm a physician and I don't have to hire somebody and pay them $1,000 an hour to go over the medical records. That's the first thing.
We're all working together to make it easier for the client.
We can vet that medicine in-house. We're only looking for the right expert to testify about medicine that we have already mastered.
Because we have to turn this tide. We have to say advocacy matters, and we have to say big business shouldn't be able to injure patients and then make the patient the problem.
I am encouraged that this is the right formula for the difficult work of medical malpractice. Folks say that LawMD is the right medicine for justice.